Hello, we're raw dogging it. We host this. It's the podcast. Boop 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 beep. We host this.
Yeah, thank God
Yeah.
nobody else would be as well equipped as us to host this.
Well,
Thank
yeah.
goodness we're
Well, I
here.
mean, it's not a doesn't. It's neither a good nor a bad thing. You know that nobody else is equipped to do this.
Hey, I have a good opinion about what we do here.
It's like saying you're the only person that's good at being yourself.
I mean, is
It's
that
that's
wrong
like
though?
a I don't know. Wouldn't that be the ultimate insult if it turns out somebody else is better at literally being yourself?
That would be kind of interesting, yeah, because then you'd have to have somebody who's a perfect impersonator or even like better than an impersonator.
No, they wouldn't impersonate you. It would be like impersonate plus, they have like a stacking buff on top of it.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. But
But they couldn't be so good that they are essentially a different person. They have to be literally you, but better somehow. So they need to define what is your best quality and make that better in you somehow.
I mean, that sounds like literally if I could achieve my self fulfillment goals all the time, this
Hmm.
version of me would be what that person would have to be all the time.
But then one could argue that the best you is the you that fails at the things you want to do because that's you. Being you means not being able to achieve certain things because that's part of your life and identity. So being able to achieve those things fails at being you.
So that version of me should actually be less accomplished.
But then it would be, that's this is the it's like a logical fallacy. It's impossible to be better at being you because they would dilute who you are by nature of not being exactly like you.
Yeah, but then like how do we know that it's worse if we can't say that it's better? Like
I mean, technically, that means nobody could be worse or better at being you. They could just be exactly as good as you at being you if they imitated you perfectly.
yeah, because
And
that's the only way to be me. You can't fail. No, you can't succeed unless you're literally me.
mhm.
Otherwise you fail whatever you do, right?
I guess the only thing that makes sense in is acting, maybe because there's like 20 Spider-Man and people consider one better than the other at being Spider-Man. Technically, they are all Spider-Man, though.
Yeah, so if they make a movie about my life, then there would still be some actor who's the best suited or the best
hmm
perceived by the audience.
Oh, yeah, they could be the better or worse person portraying you, I guess.
Hmm.
That would all just mean how well they fit into the mold that you are. But they couldn't be you and then be better or worse than you while being you. That's possible, I think.
I don't know, but your statement
Send your
about
angry comments to our mail at we host this podcast at gmail.com and take the bait.
yeah, if you think that somebody could be better at being you than you yourself and you don't agree with our arguments, then let us know. But what I wanted to say is maybe if there's an actor playing you as the character of of a film, perhaps being the best isn't even about being accurate. It's about just being the most entertaining. So it diverges from just being you by a lot at that point.
So that means that someone that portrayed Hitler in a parody was the best Hitler because he was the best at playing the role because people enjoyed it the most.
Like Taika Waititi, then he played Hitler in this. What was it called?
Didn't he in Jojo Rabbit? I think, which was
Yeah,
was ultimately confusing because I had at that point already seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and every JoJo thing just referenced that.
yeah. I never like I saw Jojo Rabbit long before I saw Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, and by then I had forgotten the name of the film, so I didn't make a single association.
I've never seen Jojo Rabbit.
I think I even saw it in cinema
Wow.
for some reason, probably because some friend of mine went and dragged me along. But I do remember Taika Waititi being a very entertaining Hitler in it.
Imagine meeting him and being like, "Hey, Taika, I love you, Hitler."
I mean, I'm sure he would actually appreciate that.
Yeah, probably. He is like that, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what the impression I get is. Also, what's funny about that film is that it's directed by a Romanian cinematographer, Mihai Malai
What?
Mare Jr.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, yeah, Romanian does sound like a
Romanians use
sneeze.
junior in the name? Do
I
they do
don't
that?
know, not really, but for some reason this person does, but that's not that's strange to me. I guess he just carries the same name as his father, so I don't know if that's what is written in the identity card or anything.
I think the whole junior thing is interesting because that means the parents just wanted to have their legacy persist through their child, right? Because they refuse to let their name die as they die. So they're like, my child will have to carry the name, so I live longer.
Yeah, but that's isn't I mean, I feel like at least with I think I had a conversation with my parents about this and and I think that's not a rare sentiment that people want their name to live on. So it's a thing of yeah, if you carry your father's last name, you know,
Mhm.
you preserve that name and preserve the legacy.
Oh yeah, I knew
And people
as a
are sad if then at some point there is no son, like you don't have
mhm.
a child who's male and will carry the last name and whatever.
When I was probably 11, 10-ish, I went to Bavaria with like a youth group, and there were two kids there that I think were cousins, it turned out. And I think they independently took part in this trip. And one of them was called Giuseppe Maria, and the other one was called Maria Giuseppe.
They were cousins too. Also, why do
Yes.
they sound like JoJo characters?
That's just generic names. I think, is it Spanish or Italian? I
That sounds
forgot.
like
Giuseppe.
Italian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they might have been Italian then, but they must be Italian. But it's a cultural thing of you basically. I think they take the name of their grandparents or something, which is why they both had the same name. And I think they were basically named after the same people. They just chose a different order.
That's amazing.
I don't know. I was really confused, and I didn't know if they were telling me some bullshit. But they basically had the same name, and that's how the name is built. I think it actually might be Spanish, where they just take two names of previous people from a previous generation and stick them together.
I don't know. I mean, there's a chance it might be Spanish, so I'm not so versed in the names to tell you for sure. I just thought it was Italian, but that's so strange. But were you using them then the names of like maybe calling one Giuseppe and one Maria?
One was Giuseppe, and one was Maria. Yeah,
So at
because
least
it was a
they
yeah,
took like the first name.
yeah.
That's so funny.
I also really like Maria as a man's name. I really like that. I think it's actually a really nice name.
Yeah. And Andrea, I guess, is kind of cool too.
Yeah, Andrea is also a really cool name. I don't know, they just sound really nice. They're nice to say. That's why, you know. I just like a name based on how nice it is to say, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of generally why you choose a name, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's also meaning, you know.
Yeah.
Like my
But
mom almost called me Atreyu when I was born, and but I don't
don't
know. That's
dox
a cool
yourself.
name, but yeah, that's not my real name though.
How do.
It's not documented anywhere.
Okay, fine.
It's
Didn't
not
manage to
like,
dox him this
oh,
time.
it's not like my name is Shalama, almost called Atreyu Salami.
Yeah,
Can't
now we
Google me
can
like
better
that.
triangulate your location based on that data.
Yeah. Only my mom knows that basically. And other than that, yeah, that's very niche. No, I don't know. I would have not liked having that name probably, even though it's cool and unique. Like in school, I would have maybe been like, actually, no, because if you have that name and you grew up with it, you don't really have the outside perspective of desiring a name like that, right?
Yeah, then that's your normality, and it's. But you probably would just wish that you didn't have it
Hmm.
because so
Someone
many
is
people would
saying,
be weirded out by it or teasing you or whatever.
also, I think we can address the raid that we've got during this year podcast that is recorded live on twitch.tv/Ancastasia. Welcome. Thanks.
Yeah,
Hi.
thank you for the raid, Sky Palace. I was gonna say something about the
Mhm,
like choosing of names for people based on like your father's name or your like other members of your family. Or you said like
mhm.
for these kids you met in school, was it that they were taken by their grandfathers or fathers?
I think there if I it's been so long, honestly. I don't wanna say how many years, but it's been a an adequate amount of years that I feel it's hard to remember, and I'm surprised I remember at all. And I think it was their grandmother's name, and
Mm.
then a grandfather, something like that.
Because I think like at least for like my like Romania and my family and stuff, what they usually would do is to take up the name or one of the names of the godparents. That's
Mm,
why like I have the middle name that I do because it's from one like my godfather, I guess. So they don't necessarily take like grandfathers or father or whatever. They take whoever is the, I don't know, the fake daddy or fake mommy. Also, I never really got the whole thing of having a godfather and godmother. What is like how people end up doing that? Because it's never like from the family. It's just some random stranger. Well, not random stranger, but like just people that you know that are maybe your
mm.
friends or something.
Also, just to give people the satisfaction of actual knowledge and not just kind of ambiguous shit. Spanish names are the traditional way of identifying and the official way of registering a person in Spain, and they are composed of a
You don't
given name.
say.
Yeah, I know it's kind of and that sentence is kind of like, who wrote this? But fine. The editors on Wiki were like, this is the best possible way to phrase it on this page.
Or they just gave up
So they
halfway.
must be right. Sure. I don't know. Like, if you know most of society, like from online stuff, maybe you wouldn't have as much faith in wiki editors anymore. But maybe they're just above everybody else. Yeah. But the names are composed of a single given name, or like a simple or like a composite name, I guess, with a hyphen, and two surnames. And here I was incorrect because it is the first surname of each parent.
Oh, that is so confusing that that's their
Yeah.
choice.
So Jose Garcia Torres and Maria Acosta Gomez would have a child called Pablo Garcia Acosta because they have the mother's and the father's
But that
first
explains a
surname.
lot because of like how you get these Spanish names that are really long and also sound like they have both gender, like dual gendered names in there. I did not know this. That's really interesting.
Now I'm Googling longest Spanish name.
Oh my
Spanish
god.
Duke told to shorten his daughter's 157 letter name.
Nah. 157 letters? Oh
She
my
holds the
god.
family record for having the longest name. Maria del Rosario Cayetana Paloma Alfonsa Victoria Eugenia Fernanda Teresa Francisca de Paula Leones Antonia Josefa Fausta Rita Castro Dorotea Santa Esperanza Fitz James Stewart y de Silva Falco y Gurtubai. Gurtubai. Gurtubai? Ugh, I cannot. I have not had Spanish in a long time. What stands out
Are
is that
you
for
for
some
real
reason,
that this is a
yes,
real name?
yes, if for some reason the article comes from the Times of India, though, famously very Spanish newspaper.
It's so random. Oh, dude, what the fuck?
Also, I don't know why it has Fitz James Stewart in there. I guess at some point someone married outside of Spain,
Yeah.
and then Silva Falco, de Silva Falco, like off the Silver Falcon, I guess.
This kind of sounds like that. Yeah, but it's 25 words. 25 freaking names.
Oh,
She
that's
was
great.
88 years old when she died.
Whoa. She
Rest in
got
peace,
quite old.
Maria del Rosario. I won't say the
Yeah, no,
rest.
doesn't say her entire name. How did they call her? Like, how did they abbreviate her name?
They didn't. They just wrote the whole thing.
Oh God. You would never write all your names, right? Like, even if you have 2 names, you would only ever use your first and last name on most places, unless it's like a really legal document, like a marriage certificate.
Wait a second. Sorry, but I'm actually not sure which one is the one. Was it Sophia or was it Maria? Because
Maria del Rosario.
oh yeah, that's longer. But there was somebody else that had, I guess, a shorter name.
Well, I'm not surprised that some would have a shorter name at least.
No, I mean, but I wasn't sure because for some reason this article is mentioning both, but that one is clearly not as long.
Yeah. There's also an article just in Spanish teaching called Super Long Spanish Names.
I mean, to be honest, they set themselves up if they say that the principle is to take all the or like names from the father and the mother. If both of those people kept piling up the names, you can only, like where does it end?
Yeah, and then if you have a name that's, like, off a place because of I don't know, maybe I don't know if that's also like a in what is it called in English? In German, we have Adel, I cannot even know it in German anymore. I'm so out of it. There's, like, titles, the Duke of Edinburgh, stuff like that.
Yeah,
And they're famously, at least for Germans for a while, there used to be this guy that has, what is it called? The title, like, he's of some
Fritz
estate.
von Bismarck.
Yeah, but there's a name for those names. Like, not royalty, in German, we call them adlig, which means that they're, like, basically off the court, kind of, the royal court people, the Duke of Edinburgh and stuff like that.
I'm not sure what you're trying to say.
Well, I just mean that level of society, they have titles and that stuff has
What, the
names, but I'm not sure.
aristocrats?
Yeah, kinda like that.
Aristocracy.
There used to be, and probably still is, this guy in Germany that is like a very I don't know, he's not doing the honor of his name any good, which is why it upsets people that also have titles that he is doing stuff he does. Like, I guess, yeah, titles, lordship things and stuff. And I think he was a count, and he would
Account.
let people pay him to adopt them legally so they also could have his title.
Oh, no, 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 you cannot do that.
And you could basically, I think he might have been the Prince von Anhalt or something like that. He had like some title, and he would let people pay him so they would adopt him.
Yeah.
He would adopt them. I mean, and that way they could also have that title.
Well,
Basically,
see,
selling
money
those
does
titles.
buy titles.
Well, same way you in the UK, you can buy a title as well, right? There's this thing where you could basically technically become, I think, was it a lord? You could buy a title.
I don't know, but I like the joke in chat that he was a right kind of count.
Yeah,
Just counting the money.
yeah, they're called Adelstitel in German,
Adelstitel.
and in English they're title of nobility. Yeah, that's what it is,
Ah, so that's just what you were looking for this whole time. Imperial, royal, and noble ranks. Listen to him
basically. Yeah,
frantically type.
and I'm currently looking up if I can find this guy's name again. This is a very riveting part of the podcast because I'm looking something up.
Yeah, you generally scold me if I try to do shit like that and I take too long.
Hmm. I think he was actually the Prince von Frederick von Anhalt. That was his name, yeah. Who is associated with, or his sons at least, run strip clubs and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I'm way out of my depth because I haven't looked into this for a very long time.
Yeah, this none of this was a prepared topic. We just ended up in this rabbit
I'm
hole.
just I'm just riffing. Anyway, you got anything this week, huh? What's up?
Hmm.
How's it hanging?
It's hanging.
What?
It's
What is
hanging. Like if it hangs, it doesn't stop hanging, you know? Like once it
what is
starts
actually
hanging,
hanging?
with age, once it starts hanging, you usually can't. Anyways, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've just been doing physio for my shoulder. you know, speaking of old oldness.
So you are changing how the shoulder is hanging in that socket, huh?
I don't know, not really, not yet at least. I haven't really noticed an improvement at all in the way it hurts or whatever. So
Hmm.
let's see how many
Not
weeks it takes.
like how long have you been doing it now?
Well, almost 3 weeks.
Hmm.
But I
I
have like
also
one
had.
or two sessions per week, so it's not
Hmm.
frequent enough, I don't think.
I'm honestly not sure how much physio does for you, like the sessions themselves, because I had an injury like a while ago, 10-ish years probably or something, when I was in uni. I had a dumb accident where I had one of those pull-up bars that you put into the door frame, and I guess that's the most classical thing that can happen with that. It slipped, and I fell on my back and the back of my head, and then I had pain in my sternum, and I had to go get an MRT,
Damn.
and then I had physio because I had like neck pain, and I feel like it did nothing. I feel like physio actually didn't do anything. And it's the exercise that I picked up after, well, and the way I looked after myself better with my upper back and stuff that actually I feel like did way, 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 way more. It's like, how
Hmm.
can like going to physio once or twice a week really change anything about your everyday posture and stuff?
Yeah, I don't really rely on that either because I also don't think that that's enough because it's just half an hour once or twice a week. That's
Hmm.
really nothing. I mean, they do this sort of like local ice therapy thing, and some massages and or like some movements that they're making me do. But outside of that, I think the biggest thing is that I do like daily workouts and I'm really bad at keeping that up.
Yeah, I can never do that, especially if I don't go to the gym. Like if I did that at home, I couldn't. I tried that too.
I don't know,
It's
but
really tough.
it's tough because I mean, you should do some specific workouts to increase the strength of your shoulders because, like, when you hunch so often at your desk, your back muscles kind of atrophy. But like, it's also that I have to consciously work on fixing my posture so that, like, even when I'm just sitting at the desk, I try to push my shoulders back and have like this
Yeah.
whole improvement in how I sit, and
Can't
I
believe
keep
you
for
just made me sit up straight.
yeah. Sit up straight, stretch your hands so that the fingers are like, I don't know, engaged. I don't freaking know. I just keep forgetting to do that. I should also stop sitting cross-legged at my desk, and they also told me I should like maybe sit higher up with my butt than my hips are, not my hips, my knees, so that there's like it pushes my like lumbar region forward automatically. But
Mhm.
I don't know how many things to buy to like really commit to this shit, to be honest.
There's an insanely large market around having the right office chairs and all that shit.
Yeah.
There's like you buy these weird pivoting bar stool things that you kind of sit diagonally against, so you have better posture and all of that stuff. Ultimately, I think it barely does anything because anybody that buys that stuff doesn't change anything about their body. They just try to, I mean, yes, sitting is nicer, but anybody also in the office that has like back pain, they have chairs so they're in less pain. But as soon as they sit in a suboptimal chair, they immediately have pain again because the one thing they don't do is strengthen their back. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's why you're supposed to do both of those things, and that's why I hate that.
And I feel like if I work out, I can sit in a bad chair without problem, at least.
Well, you're supposed to do these in conjunction so you get the fastest recovery, obviously.
I cannot. Like I bought a nicer chair and I simply cannot have proper posture always. It's just I don't know. Maybe I do have ADHD, but I cannot just sit still in a proper position. I have to shift around all the time.
Oh god, same. Like I shift around all the time and I always end up sitting on my feet in some way and contorted and like having my
Oh yeah.
freaking spine in an S shape. Like why the fuck is that more comfortable than just sitting normally? I cannot tell you.
Oh, I just love leaning all the way on my left. somehow and sitting like diagonally in two
Yeah, I
different
also lean on my
dimensions.
left way too much and like I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you did physio, though.
Yeah,
I
but
hope it
actually,
helps.
well, let's see. I mean, if nothing else, I am experiencing some interesting conversations at the physio office because this is
Are you
actually
attempting a
why
segue?
yeah, this is actually why I wanted to talk about going to physio. Not because of the treatment, but because of the person who is doing the like taking care of the treatment for me because last time was one of the weirdest exchanges I've had with somebody who's like doing some kind of therapy or like medical procedure because like I went there like for maybe 6 times. I met this person now, and like I guess I was stressed when I arrived, and I was like, yeah, this week I think I'm having more pain than before actually, because obviously she asks how I'm doing, if it's gotten any better. And I told her, yeah, no, it's actually worse this week, and I think it's because I've got stress and deadlines and stuff piling up. And she's like, yeah, yeah, of course you should. You should also watch out that the stress doesn't affect you, blah, blah, blah. And then she asks me, well, why are you so stressed? And
Oh no, she's starting just to
she's
small talk.
she's starting to small talk. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just small talk, and that's fine. Like, yeah, it'll make the time pass faster, but she probably won't go in too deeply into the topic, right? Surely. Um,
Surely.
but yeah, I told her, yeah, I run a studio, and we're it's really hard to have the startup and to make that work out. And then she asked me, yeah, well, what are you doing then at the startup? What do you make? And told her, like, yeah, games, software, stuff like that. I was just like trying to be as general as possible.
Oh, it's like when people ask YouTubers what they do, and they're like, "I work in TV pro something production,"
Yeah, media.
and then you gotta hope they don't inquire more.
Yeah, yeah. I work in media, advertising, whatever. But and like of course she was like, "Oh yeah, games. I also play games."
No way. How
So
old is this person, by the
this
way?
person is I couldn't tell you like by my assessment. I think she might be like mid 50s, 60s. I can't tell. Like she's got like gray hair and I guess she might be like in her 60s.
I feel like gray hair really isn't enough of a giveaway.
I know, and I hate trying to guess people's ages because I don't want to be insulting or like whatever. But this is what I would assume, right? Um,
Mhm.
and she's like, "Yeah, I have this console at home, so I also play games sometimes." And I was thinking, yeah, because of course, like anyone, I have these stereotypes in my head, and I think, yeah, what is she gonna tell me that she plays? I don't know, like some I don't know, Super Mario or something, which
Like, what my mom plays now is she's in that age group probably then as well, and she just plays those terrible Facebook games where you run a farm or some shit like that.
wait,
I
does
think she
she?
played Farmville for, like, 10 years or something, feels
Your
like, or
mother?
a very long time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're kidding.
Well, I think that's the audience for those games, right?
Yeah, but wait a second, because based on stuff you've told me about your mother in the past, I had the understanding that actually she was playing very interesting games and listening to
Oh,
very
yeah, she
interesting
also
music.
yeah, yeah. She also does that, but I think she has the same problem where she gets lazy and just plays some lazy shit.
Well, okay, so I guess your mom loses some coolness points today.
She follows the same kind of problems that we do. Like, I've started playing Balatro, and it's honestly it's a game, you
Is
know?
it a game? Has it
Yeah.
sucked you in? Like,
I don't know.
has it
I'm
taken over your life and gotten in
nah.
the way of performing basic life tasks?
My first day of Balatro, I've already been like, "Ugh," I'm kind of feeling the addiction part, and it sucks. Anyway, what does she play? Your physio.
Okay, before I continue with that story, I just want to say that I actually got gifted Balatro. by a viewer, Shark Dog. I don't know why I'm not just saying the name, but anyways, like I got it gifted and I played it on stream for must have been less than an hour, and I
Mm.
haven't opened it since. Like, and I know that people are hooked like shit to this game, and I'm maybe that's also what's putting me off from investing more time into it, but I haven't really felt compelled to play it.
Hmm.
Like I thought as soon as I would start playing, I would really get hooked to it like everybody else seems to be. And I don't know, like I kind of kind of feel like I'm either doing something wrong, or maybe I'm too smart and these things don't work for me because I know how to watch
You're
out.
doing this wrong because you're not getting addicted, honestly. I think I played it for like 6 hours
You
in 2 days.
you didn't say anything about me being all like fake boasting about, how I'm avoiding the
Oh,
the
you were
addiction.
attempting to sound cool
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not
yeah.
being addicted. Oh wow, you're so
Mhm.
cool,
Yeah,
not
I'm very
getting
cool.
addicted to Bolacho.
Mhm.
I already know that you're super cynical about most new games, so it's not really that surprising to me.
I guess I am really cynical. I guess that nails it. I mean, I'm still hooked like shit to Project Zomboid. Maybe that's also a factor because I just keep playing that game instead, and that also scratches the itch of, I don't know, number go up in a way.
Hmm. Number go up.
Kinda. I mean, that game is also about just hoarding shit, so it's not much different,
I don't know. It
actually.
has a lot of agency in it, while Balatro and games like that, they have a lot of randomness that you cannot control.
Yeah. I guess that's part of what I find uninteresting about games like that is that you basically have it all down to luck, and that starts to feel empty after a while. Like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm combining these cards, and I still have to watch out that I do that correctly, but there's not that much more to it. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
You're
but for
not
some
really
reason
role
it's
playing a life situation, at least, which you can do in Project Zomboid.
but it seems to still be like the most common denominator because it's the most played game probably of the entire last year.
Which is so weird to me, but I
Like
have to accept
I
that
was
that's how the world works.
I was watching ProZD, the he's a voice actor guy that I've been watching on YouTube for I don't know however long he's been around probably, and he is like he does like big voice acting roles. Even he's really good at voice acting, and he was going through his top Steam games this week, I think, and I think the one or first or second highest place of all time, mind you, was Balatro
Of all time, not
on his
just of
Steam.
last year.
Yes.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Like 3 or 400 hours of Balatro this year.
Wait, three or
And
400 hours is not that much, though. I mean,
he plays way more on Steam. Like he had I think he either had barely more or less hours in Stardew Valley, which is a game I think he 100%ed. And he also 100%ed Balatro. To me that's like wow. This game tops probably the most played for a lot of people for being out for such a long time. I think most people don't have like 1,000 hours like I do in some games.
I guess
It's
not. I was just when I said that that's not so much, I was basing it on the fact that I probably at least played like 500 hours on in League or more back in the day
mm.
when I was starting out and I wasn't playing anything else.
But probably over more than a year, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And when did Balatro come out?
But the problem is that I can't be sure. I could just as well say I played 1,000 hours because I have
Mm.
no metric of how long I actually spent at that game. I just know that it was a long time over years.
Yeah, but Balatro came out less or like exactly a year ago. Yeah, I'm checking, and his number one all playtime of all time on a Steam account is 351 hours and points 351.7 hours of Balatro,
That's
and
the
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 second
the
most is
biggest.
Civ 5.
Wait, you're talking about this creator, not about like the
Yeah, yeah,
record
yeah.
amount of Balatro playing in
I'm
the
using him
world.
as a benchmark for people that don't just play one game all the time, but about a bunch of games.
Yeah, because if you're somebody who only plays like one or two games all the time, then you'd probably have way more than that.
Like if you're someone that plays World of Warcraft or League of Legends or Dota or Fortnite, you probably have more hours in that than Balatro. But to people that don't do that and don't have these hyper obsessions with one game, usually, I feel like there's way more people like that that play Balatro a lot. Like, and then they could also be playing it mobile, right? It could just be more than just on their computer.
Yeah, true, I guess.
They could
Well,
also play it on your freaking phone.
yeah, games on phones. Wow. Speaking of that, do you know that they're making a
You've never told us what your
yeah, look, we
physio
have to
plays.
go down these freaking side tracks until we merge back into the main point, but now I started telling you, so I'm going to continue.
It's
Look,
listeners. I tried. I tried.
yeah, I'm sorry listeners. I hope you still remember where we started and where we're trying to get. Like this is a
Stay mad.
test.
Write an email. Complain.
Sure, but this is a test of how much you're paying attention, okay?
Sure.
If you can keep track of this entire conversation, then you have a medal. It says E on it.
E.
Story cucked. No, it's fine. It's just edging. We will arrive eventually.
Oh, it's just edging.
It's just
Fucking.
edging for now. Look, so are you aware that they're making another handheld console with the SteamOS?
Yeah, Asus or somebody is working on one,
Actually,
aren't they?
Lenovo of all
Lenovo.
companies. But yeah,
Sure.
I just saw that today that that's a thing. Although they're gonna like put it out in like 4 months or something, and they started with releasing a Windows one first.
Yeah, theirs is gonna have a sphincter on it.
What?
It's gonna be different. They'll make something that stands out. It's gonna have a sphincter on it,
Not
and
a
it
nipple,
will.
but a sphincter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And whenever you get an achievement, it's gonna let out a little toot.
Yeah, I guess that's in theme with Lenovo's design. But yeah, it's called the Lenovo Legion Go S.
Oh yeah, they call everything Legion. Like why?
I don't know why gamers need to feel like they're part of a legion.
Doesn't Lenovo just belong to another brand now?
I don't know. All I know is why exactly are they making another thing that's basically like Steam Deck and it's kind of the same price. I didn't look at the specs, but I feel like it doesn't come with an OLED
Hmm.
even. So, yeah, like don't really understand. I watched this video by this guy who was basically disappointed about this because apparently back when they announced, I don't remember what creator I watched, but I'm just gonna take their points and run with them. But the thing was that that person was saying that back when this was announced, it seemed rather that Lenovo was gonna put out a handheld console where you could just press a button and switch operating systems, so you could run both Windows and SteamOS on the same machine. But it turns out that's actually not what they're doing. Like those are different
That
consoles. One is white and one is black. Like the black one or like dark gray, whatever,
oh
is the one with SteamOS. And now they're
so
just selling the Windows one.
when you have your birthday and you want one and grandma accidentally gives you the Windows one and it, but what's the point? Do they have the same hardware?
I no the like the Lenovo one is like 15% better, something like this.
Wait, what? No, that's not what I mean. I thought you were saying they have two Lenovo ones. One is Windows based and one is Steam based.
Oh, about that, I don't know that they have different hardware or not. But they are
Because
basically in the same line. Like, so they probably have the same hardware. Why wouldn't they?
yeah, so all of this is just another Dell thing where you basically get a you probably pay more for the Windows one because you have to pay for the Windows license. And that's the only difference. Because it come pre-installed with Windows,
I don't
right?
know. I
Like
don't
any
know.
tech literate person would be able to like entirely flatten a Steam Deck and reinstall SteamOS on it. That's what I'm saying, basically.
Yeah, maybe. But then you probably
So,
don't want that because then you lose that Windows thing license.
well, you'd have the key for it. You must have. If not, you can look in the registry on the device if Windows is installed and just grab it from there,
I mean,
and
also, is
you
it
would
the
own it.
same? Like, could you install that same operating system on your laptop, or do they have to
Yeah, I'd
develop some
assume.
kind of different
Why
kernel
not?
or some shit? I don't fucking know how it works to make a
It's
Windows
just a
for.
license.
No, but like for that Windows to run on the handheld thing,
Huh. I don't know if
if
it
it's
would be like a
literally the
Windows
same
OS.
features.
I don't actually know if the Windows that ran on the Windows phone was just Windows 8 or like a skinny version of it and the license only worked for that. I don't know. Not sure.
I
Not
don't know
sure. But you
either.
could
Or if the key is linked to the hardware, that could also be a factor. Like, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure though you could just install whatever operating system you want on it anyway.
But
People
can
have installed operating systems on consoles. So
but can you do that with a Steam Deck? Like if you wanted for some fucking reason to install Windows on it instead of SteamOS.
I'm pretty sure you can. It's just hardware. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can. It probably doesn't run as well though because SteamOS is really optimized for its purpose,
Or
I
if you
would think.
could like can you run basically create or like run a bootloader so you could install both systems and then choose which one you want to boot up with because then you could play games on the Steam Deck that you can't or don't have in your library.
I feel like you could set that up too. I'm talking out of my butt a bit, but having a decent amount of knowledge about stuff like this, I feel like that's possible. If only because you have like a removable storage device that you switch out and then you have a different OS on it. I would feel like that would be possible. I would assume that would be possible, and then I would look it up. And if it wouldn't be possible, I would be like, "Why is it not possible? This feels like it should be possible."
Yeah,
Also, I need to
but
switch my headset
we
because I
had
don't hear
no
anything.
fucking idea, so yeah, switch your headset.
I still don't hear anything, by the way.
Yeah, maybe now's the good time to tell that story so that he doesn't hear it.
Now I hear again.
Ah, damn it!
Yeah.
I
Uh,
almost, I almost told the listeners the grandma gamer story,
I feel like the listeners would care more about that than I do at this point because they got cucked out of a story.
but you've been cucked out of the story too.
That's true.
Why don't you care?
I don't know. I have to maintain talking in a podcast so I can forget. I'm
Hmm,
distracted.
I see.
And not by playing old market simulator.
Oh no, that would definitely not have anything to do with it.
No, which is why I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're so distracted, we can just keep cucking you and the listeners, and just never tell you about the gamer, and just move on to whatever you do have on your mind.
Yeah, does your physio use a Steam Deck to play her games?
Um, I don't know. I don't know what console she has.
It's also interesting that they would tell you they have a console and not say what console they have.
Well, I think they were much more interested in talking about the games.
Hmm.
The console is secondary. It's just a means to the gamer experience. I mean, I know some
Yeah.
people are very attached to boasting about their consoles and hardware and whatever, but
Yeah, there's people that are very attached to boasting about their games too, and sometimes maybe it sounds like maybe your physiotherapist would have known more than some people about the games they are boasting about.
well, how do you know?
Well, funny you should ask. Funny you should ask, and I get to randomly bring up and introduce the segue into what I've been obsessing over the last 2 days.
Wait, so I'm not telling the story of the granny?
No, no, I'm over it.
Well, now you're cocking the audience. Okay, fine, fine.
Well, you
This
ruined
is
it.
your fault now.
Oh, well, let me show you. Well, you want to tell us or not? Otherwise, I'm going to talk about someone else very passionate about something they have no clue about.
Well, if I tell people now, I'm gonna sound like the dick for preventing you from talking about what you want to talk about. So why you gotta
Oh
make me look
God, you're
bad?
being so impossible. Just tell us. I'm making an executive decision. Tell us about the physio. What game does your physio play?
The
Please.
fizzy.
Do they
Look,
play physio simulator?
yeah, physio simulator.
Because
Yeah.
they're German and that's what we do, apparently, according to the world. We just play simulator games about what we already do.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Of course. So physio simulator, massage simulator, um, I don't know, giving birth simulator.
Ah,
And yeah, okay, so I'm actually gonna get the story out of the way because we're going insane here.
you're
So
making me mad.
what my physio started talking about was that her favorite video game is you would never guess what her favorite video game
Just tell
is.
us, for fuck's sake. I don't fuck. Just tell us.
I don't fuck. Um, well, okay, so she said that her most favorite is freaking Red Dead Redemption 2.
Wow, so random. I cannot even be astonished at it anymore because I'm so annoyed I had to wait so long to hear that. Just fucking yeah, great. I hope she enjoys that shit.
Now we're just gonna resent her for her
Yeah.
fucking favorite game. Fuck this physio person with her favorite
I
shit.
didn't say that.
No, no,
So
I
what's
know.
so fucking great about that game, huh? Huh? Why does she like it? No, honestly,
Well,
why does she like it?
um, I honestly I don't fully remember, but I think it was because she has so much, um, like
Riz?
risk that she can just go around so much and has so much freedom of movement and of encountering people. But I think apart from that, it's because it was related to, like, I think she mentioned it first because it's related to this whole thing that
Is it because she used to be a horse and it's fun to reimagine again what it was like
sure, she was probably a horse girl.
in the Wild West?
Yeah, well, anyways, she was saying that, yeah, this game has a funny dialogue system because when you meet somebody, you can either get angry at them or say hello.
Wow, that's such depth. You know what I really like about Red Dead? You can be angry or you can say hello.
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's my
insanely
favorite.
insane innovation. And then
Yeah.
she was also saying, wait, what else did she say? Like after that, she was like, yeah, and The Witcher 3, I really love that game.
Oh, can you also say hello on that? I never paid attention, honestly.
We didn't discuss whether or not you could say hello on that.
Wow.
Um,
Fake.
yeah, fake gamer. And also she said that she also plays other games like
No way.
yeah, crazy, right? Look, we're off to a great start. The fact that she's saying that these are her two favorite games is actually really impressive because they're neither very old games nor like uninteresting games. Like I've not played Red Dead Redemption. I should at some point, but yeah, Witcher, I can get behind on that being a favorite.
You
And
know
then
what's
she,
funny about that? Both of
yeah,
those games make me feel bad as a person.
well, same. At least, well, for Witcher, it made me feel terrible as a person, but that's why I tend to like a game. I was
But the
also
reason they make
listening
me
to
feel terrible
something.
is because both of those games I deeply enjoyed while playing, but then just got bored of and never finished.
Oh,
And
that's why they
attempted
make you
multiple
feel bad.
times. Yes, they are the same to me. I know everybody loves them. I saw like Donkey did another video on it, like video game Donkey. He was like, I just keep going back to Red Dead Redemption because it's amazing. It's like my third or fourth playthrough, and I've always have different experiences, and it's amazing. The world is so alive. The stories of these characters, so many hidden moments and things that if you don't go to specific places at specific times, you never witness these things or learn these things about these people.
Well,
And it's
aren't
like
you a giant
I
nerd, donkey?
I don't I have never even finished it once, and it feels tedious to me. And it's like, I suck as a gamer. I don't
Oh,
know.
come on.
Here I am
That's
playing fucking old market simulator, calling my horse and fishing up beer from the sea and selling it to people at full price.
beer from the sea.
But that's besides the point, yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I don't think you should judge yourself so harshly because
Well, I do
you
though.
can't play everything.
That's my prerogative.
Fine. I mean, have fun with that then. Gee.
Fuck myself.
Okay, we didn't need to know about that one. Um, but I also haven't finished the entirety of Witcher because I never actually played through Hearts of Stone. Which, yeah, to some extent, I also feel bad about that, but not as bad as you, definitely.
I've also never
Um,
started the DLCs in Witcher, and I've also never finished the DLCs in Skyrim.
I never like Skyrim is one that I have barely played because the problem with that game is that at the time when I was trying to play it, my partner at the time had this huge thing about modding the shit out of it with like hundreds and hundreds of mods. And I
Yeah,
felt
bigger
like,
titties and anime girlfriends. That's what modding
sure,
means, right? In
no,
Skyrim.
no, that's not the kind. Anyways, whatever. Let's assume maybe it was that if that tickles
Mhm.
your fancy. But
Well, big dicks. I don't know. Whatever preference people have.
yeah, anyways, so that was the bar, and I felt like, yeah, I'm also like, if I'm gonna play the game, I also should probably play it with a shit ton of mods,
Oh yeah,
which just set me up for failure because by the time I had handled most of the issues with all the mods and conflicts and shit, I was like, whatever, fuck this game.
yeah.
um
That's you. You speed ran the Skyrim experience to such a degree that you never got to actually play the game.
no, but the thing
You are
is
like
that
on the next level of Skyrim shit modding, like what people do, where they mod the shit out of the game. Like they're like, oh, I should really play Skyrim again, but I'm gonna have all the coolest mods. And they spend like 2 days modding the game and troubleshooting conflicts, joining
just
discords
two
to find out
days
what's wrong.
mm,
And then they actually start the game, they get to River Run, and then they never boot up the game again.
yeah, no, but the thing is that I think I attempted to play the game 2 times, and
Hmm.
I'm not sure if the first time I attempted, it might have not been the time when I installed a bunch of mods. I think no, actually, I think I tried to install a bunch of mods in both cases, but I think I had more mods the second time around. I don't know anymore. It's been too long. But the point was, I never played that much of it. I would get to a point and then I dropped off because it was just like, I don't
Hmm.
know. It also didn't hook me enough probably. But yeah,
I think I at least finished the main story of Skyrim once.
I think I got to the point where you get like kidnapped and I was just confused about what was going on.
You were a child in the game, or what do you
No,
mean?
I wasn't a kid. Oh god. Anyways, so yeah, that one is a game that I've never truly like played through and everybody apparently has. But
Mhm.
whatever. What you gonna do? Feel bad?
When they come for you, bad boys, bad boys.
Yeah. Also, not still not finished Baldur's Gate 3. Still in Act
Yeah, I mean
3.
you cannot, otherwise you lose the reputation of the person that didn't finish it.
True. Yeah, okay, but back to my physiotherapist. Another game she said she enjoys, although it's definitely not as deep, is Starfield. Um,
She just likes open world explorative
yeah, I
story
think
games.
so because that is the pattern. Because I'm about to tell you
Yeah.
the fourth game that she mentioned.
Wait, can I guess? Can I guess?
Go ahead if you want.
I don't. It's not going to be GTA because I don't feel like that fits. I think the border of what is fun is. I think it would be too silly, probably. Oh God,
Wait,
yeah,
but
like
it's not
friggin' Zelda,
GTA.
Zelda,
No,
friggin'
she
Breath of the
didn't
Wild.
she didn't say anything about Zelda, funnily enough. But
No,
no, but she did comment on the fact that GTA is too brutal and she doesn't really like that.
yeah, that's what I expected. Even though Red Dead Redemption is more silly because the one thing that really bothers me about Red Dead is you have this story about these people that are running away from the law, and then every mission is like killing 100 people, and it just goes by the wayside, and they never acknowledge how many O'Driscolls they actually shoot in the head in the entirety of the game, like thousands. It's insane.
Yeah, but
It,
that's
it,
why I was confused about her statement about GTA being too brutal because it sounds like you do a lot of killing in Red Dead as well.
yeah, but it's not as mean spirited in a way. It's more
Oh.
like romanticized Wild Westy, I feel like. And in
Oh,
GTA, it's really more, oh yeah, we got to kill those motherfuckers.
oh, okay, that's fair. But that's
I think
also
it's too
stupid
real.
if it's romanticized Wild West. That
Well,
actually
Wild
sounds really dumb. I
Wild
don't
West is
like
always like
romanticizing
a
killing shit,
Or
I
you live
guess.
in the friggin' prairie, you're outlaws, it's all romantic, you have to stick together, you trust each other, and all this stuff. While in GTA, you live in your apartment and you deal drugs, you know?
That is so fucking real though. I mean,
Yeah, but those.
not real in that I don't do that. Um,
Wow, I wasn't accusing you of that, but okay.
well, maybe chat was. I just preemptively cut through the accusations that
Yeah, okay.
nobody launched at me.
Well, all right. Well, I get it though. I feel like she probably just likes getting immersed in those worlds, and all power to her if she has some moments in her day where she can sit down and just be like, "Oh, this is nice." It's like reading a nice book, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
No, that's
sure.
great.
But like, yeah, like she said also Baldur's Gate is too brutal. And
Oh,
she
I thought you were gonna say that she then made some racist remarks.
yeah. Yeah, like any cozy gamer who doesn't like to be to have their thought process challenged.
No, I was just going by the her being probably like an old person,
Yeah,
because
like
it's like you can have conversations with old people like at the supermarket or something like that, and you just have a nice conversation, and then they just say something insanely racist, which they totally don't get because they're just, you know, they've
that's
been
just
living
their life.
in
Yeah.
yeah, they've been living in a time where it was way more okay to just have those sentiments open.
Well, I'll see her again next week and I'll see if there's anything racist that pops up, from
Well,
her.
I hope not.
I hope not
It's not like I'm
too,
rooting
but
for it.
yeah, I'm rooting for her not to say anything racist, but now that you
Sounds
pinpointed that because she's older, she might.
I don't know. My mom is approaching her 70s, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And
You don't know what her age is.
I know how old my mom is, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But she's pretty much retiring, and she used to be like a very progressive person against like the alt-right and stuff in Germany. But if you have her views now on like context-free basis of her as a person, you would be like, "Oh, wow, those are kind of conservative views." Because, you can your views are shaped by who you were in your life and where you were and stuff and how the world was around you. And the world around her was like way more severely conservative when she was growing up. So her views weren't as conservative then. She was then very liberal. And now, yeah, now,
Now all of these young people are putting her to shame.
yeah, I guess she literally used to be in the communist youth. Uh, that's how
Wow.
based she is. Yeah.
Based. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing with the times changing and shit.
Yeah, but now it's still like, oh yeah, the foreigners are coming in, and I don't know. It's old people. What can you do? She still votes sensibly, so that's good. She doesn't vote for any Nazis.
Yeah, I was happy that my mom also voted sensibly when we went to vote together for the Romanian president.
Yeah, but anyway,
But like her views are can also be very edgy to say the least. So
yeah, but
yeah.
speaking of when people speaking of not voting for Nazis, another beautiful segue for what I wanted to talk about.
Uh huh.
Friggin' what I've been obsessed over the last 2 days. Well, obsessed is a bit strong, but I've looked into it. There's some very good videos on the matter at this point from some very knowledgeable people, the best people.
The best.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk, Path of
Oh,
Exile 2.
I already want to check out.
Yeah,
Oh
the
no.
fucking head of the Doge department,
Uh,
uh, somehow
is this really the last topic we're gonna address on this podcast? Because what
I
a way
don't
to
know.
end.
It doesn't have to be the last topic. I
We,
can
we
be
kind of
relatively.
have to. We kind of have to wrap it up.
I didn't even get to talk shit about the clown and the vice clown.
No, you're gonna get to talk about the Vice Clown, but after that, I don't know.
All right. Well, maybe
Just
we'll have
get to
something
it.
nice to cap off, okay?
Yeah, just
Um,
go on,
go on.
go on,
Fine.
go on, do it.
Fine. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well,
Do your
uh,
yapping.
maybe I should start by one of the most baffling things that happened, the most childish things. Um, Elon Musk took away. I mean, you might be familiar with Asmongold, not the pinnacle of online personalities, not the poster child of sensible people online, but just a nerd that sometimes has very questionable political opinions, but in general isn't straight up as insane as full on Trump supporters, at least. But still, got his check mark removed by Elon Musk because Elon Musk was angry at him. Why was he angry at him, you may ask? Well, you'd think he directly did something, but no, um, he made his editors put up a video of him discussing Elon Musk playing Path of Exile 2 on stream.
Oh,
And in that video, what Asmongold did is he actually watched someone else's video. So it wasn't him actually exposing any of this, but I guess it was the most popular target for Elon Musk to target. But Kriparian and Quinn, who are like Path of Exile content creators and arguably kind of experts at the game, just playing the game in hardcore to varying degrees of success, but being very knowledgeable and people that if you play the game, you probably know because they can be like, I don't know, they're popular, like they're like big people in the Path of Exile community, basically. And all of this came off the back of Elon Musk streaming on Twitter like a week ago ish, because he really wanted to show off how good he is at Path of Exile 2 to his followers.
first off, streaming on Twitter. I didn't even know that that was a
Yeah.
thing.
That has been a while, I think for a while, like for a year or so now. Like I know that a bunch of streamers re-stream to there. It's just very confusing because you don't actually see live views on Twitter. You just see viewers, like views in terms of how many people total have viewed the stream. It's
Ah,
like
so
when
you
on
don't know
Twitch you
how
have like
many
five
people.
viewers, but
Mm.
in your metrics in the end it says like there were like 50 people that checked in on your stream, but they weren't viewing at all times. So yeah, I think in the end must have had like 3 million or whatever, but probably not at a time. But he was playing Path of Exile 2 on a character that Path of Exile 2 has a hardcore mode. So if you die forever.
Hardcore.
Hardcore, yeah. And his character that he was playing was the seventh, I think, highest rank of every player of a Path of Exile playing hardcore.
In the
And
world
then
or like
in the world, yeah. And
Jesus.
he was showing off his character, and it was immediately apparent to anybody having like basic action RPG knowledge that he did not know how to play his character at all. Like at some point, he was fighting a boss, and he was not dealing any damage for a while because his mana was empty. Like his mana bar was entirely empty, and he did not drink a mana potion, which is the first thing that most people would learn in the game at like
Wait,
level 5 or something.
did
That
he
if you
have
don't have
mana
mana,
pots on him?
you always have a mana pot in Path of Exile 2. It's like a static item that you always carry on yourself that gets refilled in town, basically.
Yeah, but
And
can you forget to refill it or something?
it was full.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that it was full. There's no forgetting anything there. And
Well,
yeah,
then has this guy actually played any Path of Exile?
that's the
Really?
question. He for some reason was passion was like so, I don't know, it was so important to him to show off how good he is at Path of Exile that he really needed to stream himself playing it on an account that was in the insane high level of the game, having items that most people, even like people that play the game 16 hours a day, like have never seen items as good as he had. Because I mean, it was quite obvious that he had never maybe even played that character, or maybe like just once, but never actually progressed on that character. And people are, yeah, they have collected a lot of proof of this probably being a piloted account, which means that someone else is playing this account. Like in a really high tier person that is like on the top level of playing Path of Exile is actually playing this account.
I
And
mean, he's gonna have the money to buy that if anybody.
yeah, I guess so. But then he goes about talking about how bad his gear is, and using metrics for that that make no sense. Like his character is level 97, or was, just because his character died, by the way, as far as I'm aware. I learned that today.
Oh
And
no.
and
Did he get
he
him killed?
no, no, actually no. But still, I'm gonna get into that. It's not a just let me finish this thought.
Alright, I'm gonna let you
Uh
finish.
he was talking about how bad his gear is because it's like level 52. This item is like level 52. It's kind of actually not that high, because I'm level 97. That's not the metric you measure how good gear is in the game, because the item he was talking about in this instance was from the hardest boss in the entirety of the game at this point. And it's like the item that drops from that, yeah, that's not good because it's just like level 52.
Oh, that's
And
like required level to wear it.
yeah, because Path of Exile has like two levels on items. One is the level you require to wear it, and then like an actual item level, which dictates like the higher the item level, the higher the value of all stats on the item can be.
Yeah,
So the
isn't
best
that like
items can be lower level than, like, can be level 50, can have the best stats on it, because the item level itself that dictates the stats on it is different.
isn't that how a lot of or like most RPGs do things anyway?
Yeah, like World of Warcraft also does that, which is because at level 60, if, for example, in World of Warcraft, your highest level used to be level 60, and then 70, and then 80. But when you reach the cap of the current expansion or content you are in, items need to progress somehow. So the item level increases, because that way the stats can be stronger on them. But it's still level 60, kind of. Like, I guess that's a relatively good comparison. But that's how most games handle that. They need some hidden value that dictates how good an item can possibly be when it drops on the ground. And
So
it's
it
not
just sounds like he not only doesn't really know how to play Path of Exile 2,
he
but
doesn't know the basics of like veteran ARPG knowledge or
yeah.
RPG knowledge. He it's weird because he was playing like on a grandma level and understanding. He was boasting about a game that he was supposedly playing on like top elite level, where you would probably do this for a living, while also being Elon Musk, running several companies, and also now having a political career with friggin' Donald Trump's henchman. And
And also
this
tweeting so much because he posts a
tweeting so
lot.
much, and playing on a level that you would have to have 16 hours a day or so in the game. Playing at a point in the game where you would have needed to, if maps mean anything to anyone, you would have needed to do like Kriparian said, like a thousand, like at least 1,000 maps or something, and then on his stream struggled to open a single map, which is like an instanced area where you go and kill monsters, and then you finish it and you go to the next one, and you run these maps to progress in the end game. And he struggled opening one of them on the stream. And his stash, where he has all the items, had a tab that said Elon's maps.
No,
Like someone made a tab for him to tell him, here are the maps that you should use when you play and people can see it.
wait, why
Because
would
when he hovered,
you?
when he hovered over some of them, it became obvious to people that know some of it. And I'm not knowledgeable about Path of Exile. I have like 1,000 hours in the game, so I do recognize some of these things. Maybe not as much as these super mega content creators that play that game endlessly, and especially with Path of Exile 2. I've only played it for like 100 hours, maybe, at this point. And he had maps in that tab that were arguably very easy. So basically, no risk to his character, and running a build that basically kills everything instantly. So he had no risk of dying.
Oh, that's
But then,
why they were assigned to him. Like, here,
yes,
here, child, you can toy with
but
these.
the thing is that there are like API tools that can let you track a lot of things people do in the game, like the highest level character can be tracked via API, and then you have lists online that list everybody and stuff. Like even on their own website of Path of Exile, they always scrape that information and provide it to everybody, so they can have leaderboards and stuff like that. And you can also tell where someone logs in from. And his account, pretty like often, or like most of the time, only logs in from Asia. Uh,
Oh, well,
and he was
what do
talking
you know?
to uh, Alice Weidel, the
Nah, the AfD person.
yes, the fucking chancellor candidate from the AfD, then the Nazi party here that everybody should be worried about. He was talking to her on
They
Twitter
had like
Spaces.
they had a fucking 10,000 people demonstration against her in Hamburg this week.
Yeah, it was even more than that allegedly. But yeah, there was a huge demo on Friday, I think,
Well, I love that
because of that.
Elon and her are connected.
Yeah,
That's great.
that's why there's the Nazi connection. And yeah, his character died during that time because his character was logged in while he was talking to her and he was playing. And apparently he died.
Oh
So the
no.
person piloting his account died. Yeah,
Oh, so he wasn't playing. It was his
no.
pilot.
Yeah. He There's no way he could play while having these conversations with political people that are in high.
Yeah,
That
but
would
I
be
thought that
bizarre.
maybe he was splitting up his attention and he messed
That
up
would
even
be
more.
I mean, that would also be kind of funny, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just I encourage you to, if you have any respect for Elon Musk in any capability, like any on any level, look for Kriparian, KRIPP, basically is enough, and then Elon Musk, and watch a bit of that 40-minute video. Basically, very very good explanation, even for people that don't play Path of Exile, that show how bullshit all of this is and how little Elon actually knows about something he claims to be an expert about. And I don't get why. Like, this is my whole point in this is I don't get why it's necessary for him to be a god gamer in a specific game. Who cares? His
Who
his
cares? Who
followers
asked?
don't his followers don't care that he's a god gamer at Path of Exile.
The question
And
is though,
it's
what if they actually do? What if that somehow also impresses the people who like what he does?
he wants to be like mega Iron Man. Like, he wants to be Tony Stark, where he's so insanely genius that he can do all these things.
Well,
And that's the
yeah.
reason why this megalomaniac ego guy, that he needs to be this impossible genius that can do that and then also all the other things. And I bet he does this with a lot of things in life where he just claims someone else's achievements. But this is the bizarrity of his. He could just play Path of Exile's story from level one on Twitter, and people would be like, "Whoa, that's so fucking cool! He's playing the game I love, and he's showing interest in a hobby that a normal person does." Like,
Yeah, he's so relatable.
that would have that would have had such much. Nobody would have cared if he sucked at the game, but
I
now
don't know.
everybody cares that he sucks at the game.
I don't know. I mean, in his distorted, megalomaniac insanity, he probably thought that people wouldn't catch on because
Yeah,
he thought, "Ah, I'll be good enough to fool them. It's fine, you know."
but the
Like
only
I would
people
also
that would
assume
have been
that.
impressed by this are people that would immediately understand that he doesn't know what he's doing. That's the problem. He goes. It's like going to a like top level poker tournament and then just having no idea how the game functions. Like pulling up a chart of how which playing cards make what hand so you can win.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like I said, I would not, also not be surprised if he just thought, yeah, I'll pull off that. I'll even get away with this even with the people who know the game. I don't know. Maybe that's what he thought, maybe not. But it is obviously insane that he insists on having like one of the absolute best accounts in the world instead of
Yeah.
like if he had to be like, yeah, I want to impress people that I'm a gamer, you know, he could have also gotten an account and then continued playing from there and then showed it to people. Okay. But he has no absolute no like humility or desire to actually fucking, I don't know, like accept that maybe he can't be top at something and he'll just do a little bit of that. I don't think that
Yeah.
that's possible for him.
What's also just so bizarre is that he doesn't seem to be smart enough to realize that if he played it like that and he would want people to know that he's so enthusiastic about it, that why? Because he clearly isn't. Like, he isn't an enthusiast about the game because he doesn't know the first thing about playing it. It's almost like someone told him that this would be an impressive game to play because he plays it on a level that someone that only has like 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day to play because they are very busy otherwise would know more than him. Like the whole drinking a mana potion thing, or not even knowing how to pick loot up off the floor.
Come on, I can do both
There's
of
many
those
more
things in
things he
Path of
failed at.
Exile,
You can do that, yeah. I
and
know
I've
you've
barely
played
played it.
to a very rudimentary level, like it not even like you've played barely at all, and you know more than he does. And that is why it's so baffling. Why does he think that that's reasonable to play the game at
I
such a high
think I've
level?
played like 30 hours though,
Well,
maybe.
you
But
would
yeah,
think
still, it doesn't change the point.
you would think that he would also at this point maybe have 30 hours in the game and know some things. But it appears that he doesn't know anything. That's what's I cannot wrap my head around it. I'm actually
Actually,
going insane.
yeah, me neither. I just wanted to say that actually Steam says that I've played 41 hours of Path of Exile. But you know how I play things? Leave them running
Yeah, I
half of
know.
the time, so this number doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
reflect.
If you want to see that, come to twitch.tv/Ancastasia.
Yeah, I do that on stream. Just let the game run while I don't engage with it.
Yeah. This is not really this is not super cynical news. It's more like a fuck me, that's so dumb kind of news.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
just
so entertainingly
insane
stupid.
how fucking, I don't know, just how to what lengths somebody would go to win, to dab on others, to whatever. Like I don't know, it's terrifying. It
Like
just
what is a
feels
sport
mega
that
psycho to
I
do that.
what is a sport that I would have like zero idea about? Here, I can barely swim well, and I'm gonna join a water polo tournament and make people believe I'm the best at the sport when I have to go in the water and play in front of them, and it will become immediately obvious that I don't even know how to float in place.
No, but you'll just pay a shit ton of money to somebody who's like tasked to hold you down from from inside the
Mm.
water so they can move you
No, no, no.
around, you know?
That you're going at this the wrong way. He would pay I would pay somebody to wear a skin suit of me that looks exactly like me, and they have to play for a while and be really good, and not in broadcasted tournaments, that they have to somehow move up to nationals or international tournaments, and then I take over, and I play in that, and then I have that live broadcasted to 3 million people, and
Y-
then I play the way I do without having any skill, and that's how it looks to me.
You think that
Like,
Ray Gun Dancer did that? Also, I like how our podcast started and kind of ends with impersonating somebody.
well, that's beautiful.
It's a
It's like
beautiful
poetry.
come circle jerk circle
It's like
back.
poetry. Anybody, anyway. I cannot. I literally am so there's so much about this. I cannot even scratch enough of I barely scratch the surface of all the stupid shit that has been exposed about this. If you get a kick out of this like I do, look into this. It's honestly baffling and also kind of entertaining in just a watching someone crash and burn kind of way. And I think Asmongold got his check mark back as well because I guess either Elon himself or someone at Twitter was like, actually, we cannot do that. That's kind of petty and silly. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I wanted to say that. That sounded like such schoolyard behavior too. Just like, oh, yeah, I'm mad that you called me out. I'm gonna take away your toy.
Yeah, that's basically like schoolyard behavior.
Fucking
Oh,
check
he's
marks on
better than me.
Twitter
I'm
are
gonna,
just stupid status like toys.
yeah,
Nothing like legit to gain legitimacy by anymore.
nah. Well, do we have anything not as dire. I mean, I don't think that's such a serious topic. It's just an idiot being an idiot online, making a buffoon out of himself.
At least
Um,
he was easily exposed. But
yeah,
my fear is that the people who are his diehard fans will not learn about this or care and
in
still
his live
just
stream, there were people like, "Yeah, you're great, Elon. I love you, Elon. You're doing so well," and all that stuff. So,
oh god.
yeah,
Yes, unfortunately, people still use Twitter.
yeah.
It's a
Well,
real cesspool at this point.
sorry for the long rant. You can also cut it out, and we can have this be its own thing. I don't know.
I don't know, but I think we're gonna cut it here.
All right. Well,
And we don't really cut this podcast, you know that.
no, fuck it. We'll we're doing it live, and it stays this way.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
there's
authenticity.
there's some editing happening, but yeah.
No, not really. All right, Shalama, get the fuck out.
All right, I'm fine. Jeez. Bye.
Get off my lawn. Bye.